Oh, Andrew.
Hello.
Hello. 3, 2, 1. Wait, which the scene? Is it this one? Is it? Boom!
Yay!
Andrew. He's Andrew. Looking good, my man. We're both looking hot and sexy today.
Yeah, I was gonna say I wasn't sure if you were gonna wear the sundress. I feel a little better now.
Questions time. You ready? Yeah, okay, I'll start off with this one from Diego Fernandez. How did we meet?
So we never really officially met nearly as much as we were just kind of introduced by Matt. This is another question buried in there, but asking who else I've edited for. But I used to edit for Magikarp Used Fly. And
I stole him.
Yeah, pretty much, kinda. Frost was looking for an editor, and Matt was like, "Oh, are you interested in this?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, I'll give it a try." And that was kind of about it. The first time we met in person, I told this last week, I think. We met at PAX East. Yeah, Tristan told me, it was the first thing he said to me, "Oh, you're the guy who stole my job." And I didn't know him at the time.
Oh my god, I acted so
I didn't know him at the time. I didn't know that was his sense of humor. So I thought I pissed him off without ever meeting him. I was like, oh, okay. So Frost Prime hates me. That's interesting.
Backstory to that is I also attempted to start editing for Magikarp Used Fly because I had a successful YouTube channel, right? We are celebrating 150,000 subscribers, but as a little background, I think I got to 142,000 subs, 143. And then I'd been struggling with depression for a while, but it really kind of took over. And so I pretty much stopped uploading on the YouTube channel. I started trying to stream for a while, and it just wasn't working because I wasn't advertising it on YouTube because I didn't want to spam it or anything. And so YouTube channel was dying. My career just seemed like it was just plummeting from a successful career into nothing, and it made me really depressed. So I was like, Matt, I need money. I need a job. Can I edit for you? And he was looking for an editor at the time. And so I tried, and in the middle of editing a video, I was like, I can't do this. I can't edit for someone else. My dream is to be a content creator. And so it made it worse. But then Andrew came along, and so I made the meme that he stole my job because he took the position after me.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Frost, what are your favorite / least favorite memes from the stream? There's
been a couple good ones.
I mean, I probably am gonna go, if I'm gonna talk about least favorite, it's probably gonna be whichever one that I don't like that is right now, which is Unzip's cock. That one I fucking hate, just because anytime that I see it, I picture it, and then and the worst part is if chat ever types Unzip's cock for any reason, it's usually in the horny situations, I'll say something that could be taken in that way, and then they'll say Unzip's cock. I'll be like, chat, shut the fuck up. You know what they respond with? Rezip's cock.
Rezip's cock.
My favorite long-lasting meme on the stream, though, is probably banning people for $20. And it's not because of the money. I know I'm a greedy fucker, but it's not because of the money. It's just because, one, if someone says something dumb, people just are ban that guy, and they know exactly. It's so ingrained in the community, and people just know that this is what happens, this is the way it goes. And if someone says something stupid, and I'm like, why the fuck did you say that? Then people will be like, $20. I'm like, fuck yeah, let's do it.
Why not?
It's just it's such a part of the community. Final question from Diego. Andrew, would you only edit for Tristan, or would you consider editing for other people?
So I do edit for other people right now. Yeah, so I've edited for a lot of other people. I'm currently editing for 3 people.
Really? Wait, who the fuck are you else editing for right now?
So I'm editing for Hopcat, who is a Smash YouTuber.
Oh yeah, I've seen his.
Yeah, and he and his group of friends have I don't even know what to call it. It's a small community YouTube where it's just the 4 of them goofing off and really, really low bar editing and stuff. So I edit for them too, just every once in a while. So that's who I have right now. They're called the Underdogs.
Sweet. Yeah, I remember you saying, I remember when you first made your first video with them, you tweeted it out or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I checked it out. It's good. I mean, they're funny. They're definitely good content.
Something about Smash is just really fun to edit for me.
Oh.
There's something about it, just the energy.
Smash is so easy to consume too.
Yeah.
It's such an easy game to watch. ORR Shemesh, maybe saying that wrong, says, Andrew, is your dress comfortable?
No, it's a little small. It's my wife's dress.
It's like really hard to get on. I always feel like I'm gonna rip it when I go to put mine
I
on.
can't get it off. I have to step out of it.
Yes.
I put it on earlier and I could not get
It's
it
weird.
off properly.
I can't pull it up and put it on, but I have to pull it. I have to go down to get it off.
Yes.
Is that? Shemesh asked, do you ever find it hard to find motivation for streaming? If so, how do you find it? Yes, all the fucking time, all the time. Burnout is very real. It's very, I would say for streamers that stream all the time every day and have a set schedule, it's really, really common. One thing that I've always had in streaming is I used streaming as an escape from my depressive lack of being able to get work done. So when I was first trying out on streaming, it was like, oh, if I don't like, I knew that I wasn't going to be able to get any work done on a video that day because I was just sad as fuck. I would stream, and that was just like what I would do. And then streaming became a very regular thing for me, where when I started taking streaming seriously, I told myself I'm going to I made it a part of my brand that I go live these days a week at exactly this time. And a lot of times, if I'm having like a shit mental day and don't have any motivation for streaming, the best thing to do is get on stream, and then the energy of the stream actually brings me out of that funk all the time. That happens all the fucking time, because I'm still a person that struggles with my depression, but I get on stream and the energy from cum gang and piss gang and unzipping and rezipping cocks, man, it's just, it's an energy.
So this is from, I'm going to butcher the name, Quinlan Hildreth, who asks questions. If you had the chance, would you get into Warhammer? Would you? Oh, if you had a chance to get into Warhammer, would you? And if you did, what would be your armies? I am wondering, since it would be fun to see you play more with Bricky and Matt in that regard.
I played a small amount of Warhammer as a kid. My brother was really into it, and so he would just give me his lesser army that he didn't develop as much to play against him so that he could practice. And he would just rail me into the ground because I didn't really know what I was doing. But I think I played, they were Red Marines. And is that the Chaos Space Marines?
This is part of my question, but I play Age of Sigmar. I don't play 40k.
Okay.
So I don't play the future one. I play the fantasy version.
Oh, okay. Chaos Space Marines. Yeah, and then he played, but then he played like some alien shit. He played...
Tyranids?
Huh?
Tyranids?
Yeah, Tyranids. Yeah, Nids. Yeah. He played Tyranids. There's a lot of Red Marines. Oh, then I have no idea what the fuck I played.
Yeah, there's just so many Marines. It's confusing to look at.
They're mid-tier? Okay. Anyways, so yeah, I played it for a little bit as a kid. My brother was more into the hobby of it, and I think he still is to this day. But as for playing with Matt and Bricky, I would absolutely fucking love to. And that's actually something that we touched on in, I know now, the YouTube will have seen the video where we went over my animals. Why we got our second sugar glider was so that I could go and travel. I live in Colorado. They live in California. So doing like the regular meetups that they do all the time where they live near each other and can just drive to their location, a little bit more difficult. But I would absolutely love to go out and participate in some of that stuff. I don't think I would probably participate in the Warhammer 40k content simply because I don't know enough.
So my answer is yeah. Well, obviously I already answered it. Yes, but I play Age of Sigmar. I don't play 40k, and I know their channel is mostly 40k. I know Demeki bought the Dominion box, so I know they're at least kind of getting into Age of Sigmar. So if they ever had me out there for that, that'd be fantastic. But I play Stormcast Eternals, but I am also mostly just in it for the hobby of it and painting. And I have a friend that will come over occasionally and I'll play against him. Matt has offered a couple of times to teach me 40k over tabletop. I'm just not as interested in 40k. I just like the models of Age of Sigmar more.
Anyway, someone's resident sleeping your Stormcast, so.
Yeah, they're basic bitches, but I really like them.
Question for both of you, and this is going to be interesting because this is going to come from the content creator side and then the editor side. What are your favorite types of memes to see during meme review? I'll go first so you can have a time to think.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I am a narcissistic piece of shit.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I also love seeing myself in meme review because it's a nice rarity, and people find random pictures of myself and put something stupid on. It's like, it's me. That's me.
Yeah, no, I love when chat makes memes of me. I will say when they just clip me out of context and it just says "come," it gets old. Yeah, I absolutely love memes of me. And when people like cut my face out and are, put it as like the raging nerd versus the strong Chad or whatever, and they're like, yeah, those are good. Those are really, really good. So I absolutely love.
One's really good too.
Yeah, trade offer.
You mean, but I just love that picture of you for that.
No, you put you into it and then have something about your content, and then it is you, right? Like it's, I'm a narcissistic piece of shit. I love myself.
Yeah, so I like the very rare ones that are of me. I feel like if I saw it every week, it wouldn't be as nice. And yeah, Chad is calling me out. I do love Bury the Light memes. I am the storm. I don't know why. I just love that song so much. Anytime I hear it, it's funny.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. I mean, it's a good song. Like regardless of the meme, it's an actually really good song. Yeah. Boys, we're gonna need more Andrew memes. Nope, you're gonna do too many. You're gonna run into the ground.
Yeah, easy. One a week.
Yeah.
One a week is fine.
That's the thing, is like if you learn that someone likes something, you run into the ground. It's like 22.
Don't worry.
It's no longer funny.
We love you too. In a normal, totally nothing to do with the sundress way.
Intoxicated hippie, thank you for the 28 months. Get some love in the G-dang chat. We already sang happy birthday to Hannah. We could sing it to her later. Later. Captain No Boots, thank you for the 5. Appreciate you. Thank you.
Can we get a full Andrew screen and a small Frost screen? For Hannah's birthday, of course.
Why would Hannah want that?
Why would Hannah want this? This doesn't make any sense. I will make Andrew slightly bigger every time someone gives me money.
That's fair. I like that. I second that.
Okay. This is from Ivar Bergs. I'm so bad with forenames. I'm so sorry.
Some YouTube names.
Yeah, you're gonna show you a screenshot. Don't worry. It's gonna go really well. Ornidi, thank you so much for the 5 gifted subs. I have to make your cam slightly bigger. All right. Ivar asks, hey, really cool to see the channel gotten to this point. My question for you is, what do you think of your older work? Like, for example, the How OP League Used to Be series. How do you think you have improved? And do you think you did something better than compared to now? I used to be really good at editing. I used to actually be a really, really good editor, in my opinion. I think my edits were slick. I will go back, I would say like maybe once every couple of months, and I'll go through the beginning of my How OP League Used to Be. Because in the beginning of all my How OP League Used to Be, I would do like a little cinematic kind of intro with in-game footage and stuff, and it was pretty cool. Like I gave Karma a gun. It was fun. Like it was like actually decent edits, and I was quite proud of those, and I think they still hold up today. Like if I released like the edits I'm very, very proud of them. And I think that I speak a lot better now. I think that I have a little bit more emotion. I'm not as, I've kind of found my voice. I think that it takes a lot of content creators time to not just be speaking very monotone and without emotion.
I feel like I actually went back and watched a little bit of the first video I made for you, or at least I think it was the first one. I think it was Lightning Shen 3.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And I got like flashbacks of how little I knew what I was doing for stream highlights, because I've never done stream highlights before.
Yeah.
I'd only been editing my own stuff and stuff for Matt. So I think I've definitely gotten a lot better with I'm better at pacing. I'm better at not squeezing in an edit because it has to be there. I think that's a big thing that I learned. When I first started doing stream highlights and we just cut down a league match to 10 minutes, I remember Matt told me, you want something interesting on screen every 30 seconds, which is a lot. For stream highlights, I think that's still kind of true. But
yeah, when they're about 10 minutes long, yeah.
Yeah, but for long form content, you want to do less. You don't want to get in the way of the content. Otherwise, it's just too busy. So I've kind of learned to work with that, and yeah, I think so. I think in the same way, obviously my content isn't as much speaking anymore, but if I were to go back and watch my old Let's Plays from half a decade ago.
Are those still up on your YouTube?
Some of them are. The ones that I really liked are still up there.
YouTube.com/beardbox?
Yeah, I actually have a whole old D-gate of a bunch of my really, really, really old stuff. And I don't know if I ever want to look at it, but you know, you get too close to the mic and welcome to my first episode.
Oh yeah, we all did that.
Freddy's. Yeah, it's just like, oh well, that's awful.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we were all monotoned. We all did a thing called I call whisper screaming.
Yes.
Where instead of yeah, it's yeah, woo, like it's cringy.
Because you're living with your parents or your roommate, you don't want to bother them.
Yeah, let's go instead of actually enunciating, which a lot of people can't do because of their circumstances, yeah, but like once you start doing and you let your voice out, it's so much better. Dude, that's the best. That's always the biggest tip that I give to people is they're like, I'm trying to get into content creation. How do I make good YouTube content? It's like, make content that you would want to watch. If you watch your own video and you cringe or you kind of like, would you be okay with showing your mother or your grandmother?
And I think a lot of like new content creators see a very successful content creator and they go, I want to get to that point, but I don't want to do any of the work. You're getting into content creation for the wrong reason.
Yep.
I know it's a really like cringe way to say it, but if you're in it for the money and the end goal, you don't want to be a content creator because you have to work so hard to get to that point.
Yeah. Jacob Holden asks, question for Frost. Now, I know you don't smoke a lot of weed, but would you ever smoke with a fan if they had a joint? And asked. Same question for Andrew.
So I've tried smoking a couple of times and I'm just generally not a fan. I don't know if I would do it with a fan though. I think about it. I feel like I'm nervous about that kind of stuff. Yeah. If I was with a friend, maybe.
Yeah, you gotta have someone there that makes you feel comfortable, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. For me, I cannot explain how much of an unbelievable lightweight I am. I've never drank alcohol before, but I would assume that it would be the same with that. So, yes, I would be more than down to enjoy some weed with a fan, but just don't feel self-conscious if I take like one hit and then I'm like, I'm good. It's actually because I'm good. It's not because I'm like trying to feign like I smoke, but I don't actually. Yeah, I would probably rather pop like a 5 milligram, 10 milligram edible and just chill with you. That would probably be better. Something a little bit more contained, an amount that I'm okay with. Yeah, I would much rather do that.
This one is from Cinnamon Churro. For both, what's your favorite genre of music and favorite song?
I very much like two polarizingly different types of music. I like hard rock, alternative, like, the anywhere from like AC/DC to Avenged Sevenfold, like in terms of chillness to toughness, I guess. I also really like a lot of melodic EDM, like Seven Lions, shit like that. None of that stuff that you would hear in the club. It's just fuck my girl, like that shit fucking sucks. I would say my favorite song right now that I could listen to on repeat is Black Rose by Volbeat.
I got a bunch of favorite genres of music, but I lean towards like the medium heavier side. I like power metal, heavy metal, most screamo that isn't about killing people. I'm into. Yeah. Once you get into Cannibal Corpse, that's too far. That's too far for me.
That's the line. Yeah.
I like fast-paced stuff. I can't listen to a lot of slow stuff.
I've gotten more into video game music on stream, but I still don't listen to a lot of video game music off stream, which I don't know.
Andrea and I are going to drive up to Maine next week, and we're going to jam Sonic music the entire way up.
It makes sense. It's really good.
It's Hannah's great.
Yeah, I've also got to remember that I'm, DJing for someone else in the car, and Hannah's not as into the Sonic music as I am.
Favorite song? The same thing. It changes all the time. I really, really like Bury the Light. But favorite right now is probably, what the fuck is it called? I have the beat in my head. It's by Unleash the Archers. I forget
Sing it,
what it is.
Sing it, pussy.
We didn't agree to that. It's Afterlife, by the way. Figured it out.
If you didn't get into streaming/editing, what do you think you'd be doing? I think there was a person who asked something very similar. And so I'll also include them on this. They did ask for Andrew, if you had to do something besides editing, what would you do? So yeah, what would you do?
If editing, I mean, there's two separate instances here where I was never picked up by Matt. So at that time, it was 3 or 4 years ago, I was working for my uncle in construction. So I have no idea what I'd be doing because I was miserable.
You in construction?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's the next cosplay that we need.
You want a little construction hat?
Yeah, we need to like have you go like run 2 miles and then like roll around in some dirt and put on some construction hat and then.
That's funny. You think I can run 2 miles? At that point, I have no idea. If for whatever reason, like last year, if the Frost Prime YouTube channel just like crashed and burned and Tristan had to let me go, I worked at a grocery store in an alcohol department, and I actually really enjoyed it. I was paid fairly well. I liked the people I worked with. I was in charge of the entire beer section, which I loved. I honestly would have kept doing it if it weren't if editing wasn't what I really wanted to be doing, or if I could balance both, I would have stayed. But it was just too much. So
wait, so that was the job that you left for me?
Yeah.
Because I knew that you had a job in alcohol. I just didn't know you loved it that much.
I don't love it as much as editing. Like I saw it as like if everything goes to shit, this is my plan B.
Okay.
And like I really enjoyed it, but I enjoy where I'm at now more.
It's
like,
interesting.
Like easily.
If I didn't have streaming, because that's the question I'll answer first, and then I'll get to rainy days side of it. If streaming just didn't exist, if my career just tits up, whatever, I have a small amount of money that I hope to make a larger amount of money over the next couple of years that will be saved up to go to flight school. I would like to become an airline pilot. It's a dumb dream. It's stupid. It makes no sense. I just like the idea. I also have a fear of flying. I'm also colorblind,
Okay,
so
see,
I might not even be eligible.
I was gonna say, no, that sounds really cool and interesting. That's a great plan. And then
Yeah.
you told me you had a fear of flying.
I feel like a lot of people that have a fear of flying want to get their pilot's license so they can, because
Really?
it's a
Oh,
control
okay.
thing for me. It's completely a control
that
thing.
makes sense. Okay.
Yeah, I 100%. It's like I can deal with flying now because I go on there and it's in my whole mindset is if no one else is freaking out, it helps me calm down. So like when you get turbulent, because like when you're in a car and all of a sudden like the road gets bumpy or something, you don't think about it. You're like,
No.
like it's not scary to you, but like if your dog's freaking out of the back, it makes sense because he doesn't understand what's going on. And it's the same thing in a plane. When you feel turbulence, that's just bumpy air. I remember the scariest moment that I had in a plane was I don't know what the fuck we did, but we like literally like dropped just in the we were flying like above a storm, and we just dropped this massive, just like you could just felt like the plane was just going down, and then it caught. And the pilot got over the fucking loudspeaker and was like, "My bad, we just lost 600 feet." Like,
Like it was nothing to him. It's like,
Yeah.
no big deal, we're fine.
yeah, like, but that was when everyone else in the plane freaked out. And if he hadn't come over the intercom, I would have
Yeah,
started
that's-
freaking out
that's
because everyone else like freaked out. Oh, here's a good question for me. It's have you ever gotten a little bit sick of, or you've gotten a little bit sick of Slay the Spire? Have you thought about other games that maybe aren't roguelikes? It's very often that people come onto the stream and ask me, would you play this game? Would you play that game? Have you seen this game? And then they try to give me their 2-second synopsis on it. I am interested in playing other games, but I also understand that my channel is in a position at the moment that does not warrant me to take a lot of time off of the bread and butter. And I don't have any sort of remorse for that. I see that this is a job. I fucking love this job. But right now in my channel's current spot, if I want to keep the trend moving upwards, I need to stick with what I'm doing. And the whole thing is like, you do this, you bring people over for this, and then you make them watch other things because you're interesting. And that works with currently Meme Review. Meme Review is our lowest watched thing on the channel, but the amount of people that will come over and be like, "Hey, I love your Slay the Spire content," and then stay for another video game, or stay for the memes, or stay during the just chatting portion of the beginning of every stream is, I would say, more people than I lose to it. And it's simply because they know that they like this content, so they come for that content, and then they enjoy everything else. And that to me is one of the most rewarding things. But that's the goal, is eventually down the road with the bread and butter, you bring enough people over that when you move off to a new game, you're automatically going to lose a large portion of the audience, but you lose only a certain amount that you still feel like you're sustainable. And I don't think that I'll ever like just be like, "All right, boys, I've hit the mark. Now it's time for variety." Like, I think it'll be a slower transition, and this is probably years from now. But I mean, Binding of Isaac, even for like being a bread and butter game, became a bread and butter game because I played it offline, and I was like, wow, I really love playing this game. And so I started playing it on stream, and then a new DLC came out. So I was like, yeah, now it's actual good stream content.
You guys...
And in terms of roguelikes, I think roguelikes are the perfect type of streaming content. I think it is absolutely the perfect type of streaming content, because if you play, I think the worst type of streaming content in terms of video games is story games. Things like Skyrim, Fallout, things like that. Those are the fucking worst stream. If you're a beginning streamer, don't stream that shit. Because if someone comes in 5 hours into your Let's Play of this game, they're not going to understand what the fuck is going on, where you are, why you're doing what you're doing. They might ask 1,000 questions that might get repetitive to you because a million people are going to ask it, and then it's going to be really just, it's going to be constant repetitive of whatever.
What did I enter the stream to?
Q&A. It is much better if you are playing a roguelike where someone can come in, they can see everything on the screen, because there's always like a list of stats, there's always a list of things, there's always like, I understand this game, so I understand like why your bullets look like this, or why you are so strong in terms of a deck that you're building. I can easily discern that from seeing the game a bunch of times. Or they can get in and be like, oh, he's halfway through a run, I'll come back in 30 minutes and it'll be a brand new one and I can watch it from the start. So I can see the entire thing. I can see it from start to finish. So I think roguelikes are absolutely perfect content for streamers to get into. I do want to get into new games in the future. Definitely, 100%.
All right, this one is from, I am absolutely going to butcher your name, I apologize, Kaylee's Marcus. First one's a meme question. Frost, are you absolutely blown out done with the 22 spam?
The only time that it ever gets to me is when I'm trying to tell a story. Normally, I do not mind getting constantly spammed with TTS. One, income, that's Poggy, right? I don't make any money off the YouTube, that's all his. So all the TTS spam, just know that that's all me making my bank. I normally don't mind the TTS spam. I don't mind if I'm playing a video game and I get interrupted with TTS because I'm obviously focusing on the video game at the same time. It's when I'm like when I'm trying to get out like a stream of thought that is a collective, possibly YouTube clip or something like that, and then it's just constantly purposely interrupted. That can get annoying, but hopefully I make at least like $20.
And then for Andrew, what is your favorite work so far in terms of video editing? I saw this question yesterday and I knew I wanted it to ask myself because I am also a narcissistic little bitch.
We all are.
But I've made a lot of stuff that I'm super proud of, and I watched a little bit yesterday, and I'm still like, wow, I can't believe I did that. So a couple of them were from Matt. I forget which PO box it was for you, but there was the channel trailer that I love, and then there was one. I really liked the most recent one, and there's one I couldn't find yesterday. I couldn't remember when I did it. That I really, really enjoy. I think you said it best, where we work the best when you are just being a stand-up comedian, and I get to work with that. When you do like PO box openings and just random stuff like that, I think that is when our channel is not the strongest view-wise, but content-wise is its strongest.
Yeah.
For other content though, I edited 2 of the hottest champion tier lists for Matt, and both of them ate up a month and a half of my life. I remember I like messaged you and I was like, hey, Matt's having me work on these giant projects. I'm not gonna get a lot done for you. Yeah, I lost a lot making those, but I'm so proud of how they came out. The Chef Boys video, I made the second one. I was really proud of that. I think those are like the big ones. There's a couple on my channel that are really little that I enjoyed. I made an Among Us video that did
Let's
okay.
go.
But I really enjoyed the edits I made for it. I think those are the big ones. All right, Mr. Dude asks, question for Andrew, what is your process for an SCS video, for instance? Do you watch it raw, make notes, and go from there, or do you go bit by bit and make the edits along the way? So for Isaac and Slay the Spire, I make the bits along the way. That way I only have to watch it through once, because watching through the whole thing is an hour of my time. Yeah. So I like to watch through it again with an edit to see how like the pacing is. And if the pacing is off, I'll go in and I'll finagle it. But watching through the entire thing and making notes, I do that for meme review. I cut up the memes very loosely, and then I make it flow afterwards.
How long do you think is the start to finish for an average video that's like an hour long?
Actually, it depends if I'm inspired or not. If I like crawled out of bed that morning, depressed out of my mind, and I'm like, I just have to finish this video, it can take me like, I think it can take me like 6 hours, just because it's so hard to get me motivated, to get me going. But if I'm on a roll, if I make a really, really banger video with great edits, that can take me anywhere between 4 and 5 hours. It takes me so much longer when I'm not motivated.
That's a good work day.
Yeah.
That's a good work day, man. That's good. That's good for you, man.
Yeah, it's very nice.
Fuck yeah. I was never that good. I was terrible. I was like 3 hours per 30 seconds.
Yeah, that's how it was with like I was saying before, the tier list videos. I would spend an entire day on 30 seconds, and it took me the entirety of the month working 9 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
Yes, from Alan Alperovich. A question for Andrew. What do you like to do besides editing? Do you have another job / a main hobby? So, I like to play video games. I love video games. I'm playing through Devil May Cry again right now. I play Pathfinder and D&D, and I do a lot of Warhammer, Age of Sigmar, which we've already kind of covered. I like nerdy things. I really like nerdy situations and role-playing games and I have a whole collection of board games outside in the living room. Yeah, anything that can get me with a small group of friends to get together and just do something are some of my favorites. And painting minis, I'd say, is probably my main hobby. And then question for Frost. What is your favorite video on the YouTube channel?
Hey, we just talked about that. P.O. Box openings.
Oh, yeah, we did, didn't we? Yeah, P.O. Box openings.
P.O. Box openings. And it's not a specific one. Anything that is... anything that I am very free from being on the computer. That's my favorite content. I just think that I'm the most genuine. Like, literally, I'm trying to find one of the largest standing desks that I can for a decent price for my new house that we're building, so that I can be more animated all the time. Like, that to me is extremely exciting. That sounds really, really, really fun. Also, fuck you for not asking me the hobbies thing. I like to go on bike rides. I'll say, this is from Goofy Goomba in chat. Question for Andrew: how did you learn editing? Did you find a specific style to watch, or different videos about editing, and then taking the information that you wanted?
I watched a bunch of videos. So, who did I watch at the time? I don't even know. It was definitely a lot of the people in the Carp crew, whoever was making when I first started making videos. Oh, that's right. I watched a lot of Super Mega and Oni plays at the time, and they had a bunch of really funny, quick editing that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So that I also watched a lot of the Carp crew, so they had a kind of style to that as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of it was just what's that?
I said,
Yeah. So a lot of it was just learning what other people do and watching them and figuring out like timing and where to cut, and even sometimes just learning like, oh, that meme is really funny there. Maybe I could do something similar with another meme. I don't think I've watched a couple of tutorials here and there when doing very specific tricks and figuring out how to do it for myself. Like I remember for one Slay the Spire video I posted on Twitter, I had like a Borderlands style intro when Gremlin Knob came up, and it was like Gremlin bitch, because of course you are never happy to see Gremlin Knob.
Yeah.
So I remember looking up like how to do that.
Yeah.
So for that very specific edit.
Oh, dude, in editing, you do that all the time. Just for anyone aspiring to edit, do not feel bad constantly watching tutorials for every single video that you produce. It is.
I do it all the time.
Yeah. And you'll spend like 3 hours learning an edit that you can then do in 30 seconds every single time. Both of you, what do you think you can improve on the most? Obviously, for me, it's Twitch, and you for editing. I'll let you go.
Consistency. I need to get so much better at consistently having decent content, because there's a follow-up question from, I don't know how to say his name, FRVR, where he talks about burnout, or asks about burnout. There are days where I just edited so much because I'm editing for 3 people, and like this week especially because I'm going on vacation next week, I'm trying to like catch up. Thankfully, I'm okay, but I kind of expected burnout. There are days where I just get, like I said, get out of bed and I have to be like, I have to get this video done. And that's my goal for the day. I have to get this video done, and then I'm gonna go fall asleep on the couch because I just don't feel it. So I think if I could get more consistently to that top tier shit where I have the energy to do stupid, Borderlands style intros for a couple of enemies, and like that style, that height of editing, that's definitely where I can improve.
Cocaine and Adderall. And for me on streaming, we actually had a really long-winded discussion about this a couple of days ago with a person who came over and holds a stub on Twitch but doesn't really watch Twitch often, and really only has time to consume the YouTube content, which I think that's what a lot of people do, is they just need their schedules don't link up with the stream, so they drop a sub on the stream and then they go whatever. It doesn't matter. That's not inconsequential to the story. But we talked about it for a while, about how And again, this is going to be narcissistic as fuck because I tend to watch a lot of my own videos, as you can imagine, because I make the thumbnails and titles and make sure that the content is good in the videos. Because in very rare cases, I would say about like 1 out of 150 videos that's uploaded, I'll watch it and be like, this isn't good enough, Andrew. Like, let's just scrap and, you know, we usually have a backup video that's just like lingering out in space somewhere. Yeah, I'll watch them back, and I do think that I am an incredibly good streamer a lot of the time. And that doesn't mean that I can't improve at streaming and just in general, but what I could improve on the most is not letting the negativity consume my content for an extended period of time. I feel like one person will say something dumb in chat, or they'll hindsight, or they'll backseat game or something, and it will absolutely ruin my mood, my content. I will be too aggressive towards that person. I've even seen it in the comments where people are like, dude, you were too much of an asshole to this person who just like said, would this card be good here? And I was an asshole to them because of the fact, one, that person probably took it in stride and knew I was memeing on the time of the stream, but I sounded too aggressive because of the fact that I had been dealing with poo-poo pee-pee heads for the past like hour, and so I just was like in a foul mood. So when I try to be sarcastic, it just comes off a lot more crass and blunt, and so it sounds really, really assholey, I guess. I'm just gonna keep using that word. So yeah, I think that when I am in a good mood on stream, my content is top tier and will be the reason for this channel's success, and I think that my assholiness will be the reason for this channel's demise. Gotta wrangle it in. Go back to therapy, kid.
So this is a real quick question I want to answer.
Sure.
Rocco Pico asks, for Andrew, how many soundbite files do you have saved to use as edits, be it 1 to 3 second clips to just one word or a sound? I just looked it up. I have 13 gigabytes of sound effects, overlays, pictures, and just a whole bunch of other shit. I have a whole file dedicated to all of my editing garbage.
Okay,
and
question.
I just organized it last week.
Okay, I was literally just about to ask, are you organized?
Yes, I'm organized now.
Okay, because like I am literally, so I use obviously like a lot of the same files for thumbnails, right? Like cards from Slay the Spire, and every single class I'd use the same backgrounds for the colors of what class I'm playing in Slay the Spire, right? It's all in my downloads folder. I make sure it's named well when I know that it's named well when I download it, but then it's literally just like, oh, I need creative AI. I'm gonna, like, for today's video, just go into my downloads folder, type in creative AI, open file location, and drag and drop. I am a mess. And every single time that I get a new computer or I reformat, I'm always like, this is the time. I'm gonna do it this time. And then what happens is I'll go to download a project, and I'll be downloading to all the right folders. Like I'll try to like download to the work file folder, and then download to the downloads folder, whatever, when it's just some stupid garbage. But then I'll just accidentally leave like the work file folder as the default for too long, and it'll get filled up with way too much just garbage downloads. And I'm like, all right, we've done it now. It's of the worms is can is open.
Yeah, I like I said, I organized it last week. Beforehand, I was working out of downloads.
Yeah, do you want to know how I actually make the thumbnails every time?
Yes.
Okay, so
I would love to know.
This is I can't show this on stream because I'm currently full screened on Discord with you, but there is a so you can look at it, because you probably I don't know if you ever got access to my Discord, like full access to like the friends part of my Discord back when like the Carb Crew talked all the time. Discord used to go down all the time back when the old days. Like specific Discords would go down, and you'd have to go to other people's Discords. And so my Discord was always the backup when the Carb Crew would go down. And so there's a chat on there called the Idiot Chat, because I just made it for all the boys to come in. If we would just come over there and we would talk in the Idiot Chat and use the voice chats. The Idiot Chat still exists. All of the same people can still see it. And I will use my OBS. I will turn off. I will go like this, and I'll turn off. I put them all together in OBS. I'll turn off the chat, the sub count, the top stuff. I will take a picture of myself, screenshotted from OBS, because I'll full screen it onto my monitor, and I'll screenshot my monitor of me making the face. I will drag it into the Idiot Chat, and then I will go to my other computer, that's how I file share between my two computers, because I never made a file sharing system for my two computers. and I will drag and drop from the idiot chat on Discord and then put that into Photoshop. I do that every day. You see this? On my computer over here? This is it. These are all the thumbnails. They're all there. Those are all the thumbnail pictures. All right. Final questions, boys. Final questions. We need some bangers because I'm going to go spend the rest of the day with Hannah. If you could talk to yourself 5 years ago, what would you tell yourself? Among Us. Stuff that affects you, like what game to get into in your career or what fails in your career. Like, I would obviously tell us to get into longer form videos sooner.
Yeah.
Because I think we would probably be closing on at 200K right now if we got into it a year before. No.
For me, I'd probably just tell myself to stop doing Let's Plays. They're not good. Just stop. Just make some real edited content. Actually sit down and try something. Because that's what got me where I was here. And imagine how much better I would be if I had 2 more years of experience.
Yeah.
If no one's going, then like all my friends are going, but I can just go hang out with my friends.
Yeah, I would honestly
so
rather do that. Like, yeah, just go out and hang out, like have everyone meet somewhere, and then we can make content together or not, and just hang out as friends. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna have to get out of here. Going a little bit over on what I wanted to do. Yeah, chat. Hope you enjoyed the AMA. A lot of you guys actually showed up, and I really appreciate that.
This was
I
nice.
love doing shit like this. And I would not mind doing something again with Andrew. I want to have, like, people are always like, why don't you do content with Andrew? Why don't you do content with X person? I'm not good at doing content with other people. I get really self-conscious that I talk over them. I get really self-conscious that I say a joke that might be towards them that is like too mean, and they won't take it as like a joke, even though like everyone laughs and they laugh at the person or at the time of the joke. I get really self-conscious, so I just feel more comfortable a lot of times making content by myself. So that's why you don't see a lot of content with other people. I get really self-conscious about that shit, but I know that this meant a lot to you guys, and honestly, this was really easy to do. So
yeah, it was fun too.